Hello YouTube and welcome to my video where we will discuss on the best strategies to win tons and tons of money in Blackjack at the Diamond Casino and Resort in GTA 5 online. As you can see, I have close to 5 million chips, and today we're going to discuss a couple of things, okay? This game, Blackjack, is not always a win-win game. You will definitely lose some money in the process of making your millions in Blackjack, but this is a proven process simply because I tried this on my PC account in the very first time, and I got it up to 3 million chips by just using pretty much basic strategy of Blackjack and sometimes making certain moves that you really shouldn't make, but you know, that hunch inside of you tells you that maybe this is a good time to do it. I will show you exactly what I'm talking about in this video. So the first and very important rule to remember is if you sit down at a table and you start playing and you see that the cards are just not going well for you, okay, you're just not getting the right cards and the dealer keeps winning, the dealer keeps having 20s, the dealer has blackjacks and stuff like that. If you lose more than 3 or maybe 4 hands, okay, at a time in a row, then just leave the table. Take the loss, leave the table, come back to it another time. You know, it's gonna be better that way. There are some very simple rules that you should follow, especially in the beginning when you're starting out with your amount of chips, whatever you have. I would recommend having anywhere from 300,000 to 500,000 chips in order to actually get into the zone in the game and try to win the way it is showing in this video. But to start off, a few simple rules is you should never split tens. So let's say you got a jack and a queen, that's 20. Do not split them because that's a made hand. 20 is a very good hand, and depending on what the dealer has underneath the hidden card, I mean, most of the time you're gonna either win or it's gonna be a push if the dealer is showing a 10. Another rule is you pretty much split aces. If you get 2 aces in the beginning, you split them all the time against everything, no matter what happens. The best situation that you can get is 2 aces against a dealer showing anything from 4 to 6. It's a very unique situation where you split the aces, you get a card on each, and then you double each of those hands and end up making 400,000 chips in one hand. It's very possible. Double down your hard 9s and hard 10s if the dealer has anything lower than a 7. A hard pair is 2 cards that make a number that can be advantageous for a player. For example, 7 plus 3 against the dealer showing anything less than 7, double it. You know, you're very good chance you can get 20 or something close to that, and then the dealer will bust. Hit your 16s when the dealer has 7 or higher. I know this feels wrong, but it will help you in the long run because you're defending your position. You know, if the dealer has anything lower than a 7 and you have a chance of going bust, do not hit it. Stand your ground. Some low cards are bad for the dealer, a 6 for example. Again, these are some very basic rules, and I encourage anyone to read and learn the basic strategy of Blackjack. Online there's tons of charts that you can use for your reference and stuff like that. I'll include some links in the description of this video. Now, I most of the time play Blackjack in GTA when I'm not actually playing the game. I would remotely connect with my phone and, I don't know, go outside, have a cigarette or something like that and play. Now, these videos that I'm going to show you today, there's 3 total videos that I made while playing. The first one I started when I had close to 4.5 million chips. It shows the process of going up and down, back and forth, losing, winning, and eventually getting to a certain point and leaving the table. So if you are playing and you're maybe even winning, and then you see that you're starting to just drain the money back to the casino, just leave the table, come back another time, like I said in the beginning. It's definitely the right thing to do. Always know when to get up from the table. Now, the second video will show how I would sit down, I would play, and it would be up and down, up and down, up and down, and I would lose and I leave. Make sure you always catch the right moment to leave the table. I cannot emphasize that enough. And then the third video towards the end will show how you can make pretty much a million chips literally in the duration of 15 to 20 minutes playing blackjack. If you sit down and the cards start flowing the right way and you're doing the right moves and stuff like that. I will be honest, I don't know if it's just me, but I have noticed that when you play against the book, sometimes the game punishes you. I don't know if that's just a coincidence, but it happened to me a few times where I'd feel like this is not the right thing to do at the moment, and then I would do it anyway, and then the game would draw out the cards and the casino would hit like a miraculous 21 or something like that. It happens, okay? All kinds of situations happen. Just don't think of the chips that you're playing with as the money that you can spend. Just play the hand and do it the right way according to the book, the rules, the basic rules of blackjack, and most of the time you're gonna come out on top. Now, don't get me wrong, following strictly to the rules of blackjack is mostly for the people who are starting out, you know. They're trying to build that bank. If you end up having a whole bunch of chips, like me in this case, you know, there are some moves that you can do extra on top. Like, for instance, okay, you get 2 10s, which is a 20, and the dealer is showing something like a 6. That's a... If you have chips to risk and chips to lose, that's a good spot to maybe split a 20, but not if you cannot afford to lose it, okay? So if you can afford to lose, you can split the 20 against, let's say, a 6, and you can either get 2 20s or get like a 13 and a 15 or whatever, and then stand on those and then let the dealer bust. But you know, that's at your own risk going against the book. Sometimes I noticed I would do that, and he would turn over like a 10, so he would be showing 16, and then he would draw a card and it ended up being a 5, so he has 21 and I lose. Yeah, that happens. I've lost up to 200,000 chips in one hand. But if you do get lucky and the dealer does bust, you are able to get more money that you would normally get in a single hand. So you bet 50, you split, so you bet 100,000, and if you win that, you win another 100,000 on top of your 100,000, so a total of 200,000. Now, if you split and then you double both hands, that means that you're betting 200,000. So 50, split, 100, double, 150, and double, 200, and you win the 200,000 in addition to the ones you bet, so a total of 400,000. The key here is to be able to play the game where you're betting, you know, you might be losing, you might be winning, but you're hovering at around the same chip balance pretty much at all times, within 200 and 250,000 chips at a time, at any given time, right? So if you are losing more than 250 chips or 300 chips, thousand, then leave the table, come back at another time. But if you're able to maintain the chip balance and hover around the same number while playing the game on and on and on, winning, losing, losing, winning, 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 losing, losing, whatever, eventually you will get into a situation where you can make a bigger number of chips, which I was talking about before. So, and then you repeat the process, rinse and repeat. You know, you won 400,000 chips, now your balance is much higher, try to maintain it or leave. Even if you're up, you know, 500,000 chips, you know, leave, or depending on how much you have, you know, it's always a personal preference of gambling and stuff like that. So now I will not be going through each and every hand that we see in the game, as because it's just gonna bore you guys to death, and I will just let you watch most of it without commentary, just to see the process of what hands I'm getting, how I'm playing them. Most of the time you will find that it's strictly by the book, by the basic rules, and sometimes you'll see that I'm doing something differently from the basic rules of blackjack, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. um, you know, sometimes you'll see me losing a couple of hands in a row, but the biggest advice I can give at this point in order to achieve the heights that I've been able to achieve in blackjack is to just learn the basic rules of blackjack and play pretty much strictly by them. Also, please don't expect to, get 50,000 chips or whatever from the casino and then sit down at a blackjack table and become an instant millionaire. Most of the time, I mean, with the way I did it, I would get 50,000 chips and I would bet it all in one hand. A few times I lost and I had to come back to it later, but at some point, at one point, I sat down, I bet, and it just kept winning, and I got it up a little bit. I left, and I came back, got it up a little bit more. Then I hit a million, then this and that, and the money, the chips that you see on this account right now is I've already spent a bunch of. I would say I spent probably 2 million chips on all of the stuff that you can buy from the casino, like the clothes and the decorations for your penthouse. I mean, if you saw this penthouse, thanks to blackjack, it's so packed, I mean, with everything. And you will be able to do just the same by just having some patience and paying attention. Sometimes you can even if you're in the zone, playing blackjack, and you see what cards are coming out, sometimes you can even predict what might come out next by just, I know it's a program and all of that, the game, it's programmed, this and that, but when you have a few tens coming out, you know that maybe it should be the lower cards that come next and stuff like that, vice versa. So, like you see right here, I split the fours because he was showing a 4, and I stood on 14 and I doubled the 7, and he ended up busting because he had a 4. He had to draw cards no matter what. No matter what card is underneath hidden for the dealer, he had to hit, and there's always a chance that the dealer busts. You gotta always try not to bust yourself and make sure that the dealer busts. Again, I know I'm not telling you guys anything new here. I'm just giving an advice of using the basic strategy of blackjack and sticking to it. You have a better advantage over the casino. As you can see, we are already at a second table, in this case playing with another guy in a lobby, and I would definitely recommend against playing with other people. I personally win more when I'm playing by myself and following the basic rules of strategy again. I would say most of the time I make out better in my penthouse at the blackjack table rather than inside the casino downstairs, but it might be just a coincidence. I can't really tell you. But yeah, so in this second table, it illustrates how I sat down, started playing, and I lost a bunch, then I won a bunch back, then I lost again, and I left the table. So make sure, like I said, you always know the moment at which to leave. As you can see in this particular situation, I'm playing with another player at the table. I would advise against playing with other people, since they can be using different strategies to play their game, and it might be affecting your strategy, because when you're playing blackjack, you're playing against the casino, so the players at the table are kind of like on the same team. And what happens, and what has been mathematically proven, is that if everybody at the table, whether it's you by yourself or 3 people, and if everybody uses and sticks to the basic strategy, the odds are more balanced out against the casino, rather than if you're just doing whatever you want, like you're a tourist, you don't know what you're doing, you're just sitting down to have fun, play a few hands. If you don't know what you're doing, you're really messing up the odds for other players. That's how the blackjack game works. Now, there are some extra rules in blackjack that apply in real life at the casinos. that you do not have an option to do here. For instance, surrender. You will notice if you go through the basic rules of strategy that a lot of hands like 15s, 16s, in certain situations when a dealer is showing a 10 for instance, you should probably surrender, which means is that you give up your cards and you get half of your bet back. This is not available in GTA 5, so if you're following the basic rules of Blackjack according to the charts and descriptions online that you find, and you find yourself in a situation where the chart is telling you to surrender, you must hit and take another card. Sometimes you will win, sometimes you get lucky, you get a lower card and you'll get closer to 21. Sometimes you'll bust, but that's just the way this game goes. The real odds against the casino are about 50-50, maybe even a little bit more advantageous if you are playing strictly by the rules of basic Blackjack. And if you're asking yourself, what is basic strategy based on? Why should I trust you? Why should I go by the book? Didn't the casinos write the book? Or something like that of that matter? Well, I will include a short description right now. So pretty much, the history of basic strategy, it was derived from a computer simulation. Okay, somebody taught a computer how to play blackjack and then told it to play several 100 million hands of blackjack and record what happened. Through the computer's trial and error, it figured out which decisions are best for the player, given every possible combination of starting player hands and dealer up card. The best decisions for the player in this case are the ones that lose the least amount of money to the casino over time. Basic strategy does not overcome the casino's house edge until we add card counting to the mix, and that is not possible in GTA because it's not an actual deck of cards, but it's a computer generated, I would say, random sequence of cards. So keep that in mind. You know, in the long run, the basic strategy will definitely help you out, but start using charts, you know, start reading a little bit about blackjack online. There's a lot to learn, and eventually when you start playing, you're just gonna automatically make the decisions that are appropriate in certain situations. So always keep that in mind. Now I'm gonna let you watch the rest of the video, just, you know, the process of how I did it, what moves I did and stuff like that. You can cross-reference it to blackjack charts, you know, analyze it, stuff like that. But I've done it on PC, made millions. I've done it on PS4, as you can see, made millions. You're gonna see changes in the account balance between the videos because obviously, you know, I will go out and buy something in the casino store, decorations, stuff like that, clothes, like I said. So just make sure you note at where the next video starts. Make sure you note how much I had in the beginning of that and how much I ended up with at the end. At this point, I will let you guys watch the video towards the end, and I will probably speed it up a little bit in certain spots. Just, you know, if you need to see something specific, just hit the pause. Otherwise, you guys are gonna be here for 40 minutes. I don't want that to happen to you. So I will see you at the end of this video, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Alright, let's do this.
Ready to put in your bets? The bets are closed. Let's begin. That will be 10. 13. Looks like 13. 10. Another card for you? That will be bust. What do you say? Card? 19. Would you like another? And a 15. Can't win them all, I'm afraid. Try again soon. How about we put bets in? 7. 9. Looks like 4. Another card for you? That will be a 19. 11. 14 it is. That's tough to the dealer. Your bets, if you will. 11. Here's an 18. There's a 5. What do you say? Card? 15. And a 15. 21. Dealer takes this one. 21. That's a win for the dealer. How about we put bets in? 10. Here's a 20. That will be 10. Would you like another? 18. Your bets, if you will. 2. 12. 10. Another card for you? Looks like 13. We have a dealer bust. Ready to put in your bets? That will be 10. 13. 10. What do you say? Card? Here's a 16. Would you like another? Bust, I'm afraid. 20. Dealer takes this one. How about we put bets in? 5. And a 15. That will be 10. Another card for you? It appears we've gone over. Here's a 20. That's a win for the dealer. Your bets, if you will. Bets are closed. Let's begin. And that's a 12. That's a 7. What do you say? Card? That will be a bust. Look at it this way. You're due for a win next game. Dealer takes this one.
And this is the start of the third part of the video, exactly the point where I make 1 million chips from 4.2 million all the way to 5.2. So you will see again ups and downs and this and that, and you will see some big hands, you will see some big losses, but just I hope you guys learn something from this and it helps you to achieve the same riches that I was able to do. So see you at the end of the video again. And it's gonna be my last hand. As you can see, the dealer draws a 21 from a 16, which is pretty lucky. Most of the time, you know, you bust in that situation. But yeah, I decided to get up because I started losing, lost a couple of hands in a row, and yeah, save the money. You know, buy whatever you want, because you should always buy everything that's available for chips, because you can't really spend it on anything else other than like trade it in for real money. Sure, but you know, I have a little bit of money. I'm okay, so I'm keeping it in chips for further, you know, updates, decorations, clothes, and stuff like that, so I can buy stuff. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please do leave a like and subscribe if you've learned something today, something new, and maybe, you know, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. I'll do my best to help you out in any situation. Um, if you wanna chill online, you know, maybe watch this happen in real time, we could probably arrange that to happen. You know, I'm not making anything up, and I'm just telling you my experience, exactly what I do, and this is the second account that I've been able to build up in multi-million chip count. So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this, and I'll maybe see you in the next video. Alright, peace out.